Edit audio.
So I've been thinking a lot about what joy means rather than what it looks like this year. Not the pretty, polished, aesthetic, and stage situations that we see on Instagram. I'm talking about those real moments. Sometimes they're quiet in nature, sometimes they're just aha moments. But what they always are for me are conversations with really dope, amazing, dynamic women. And that made me want to go back and comb through the little Rolodex, comb through our episodes, and pull out the conversations that really spoke to me and really highlighted what joy looks like, what it feels like, and how we can really start to cultivate that practice within our everyday lives. This is the Best of Joy episode, and it's featuring some of my favorite conversations from this year. So you're going to hear from EbonyJanice, who always speaks life and who teaches us what it means to really live a soft life and reminds us that all Black girls are activists, period. We'll also hear from Brandee Younger, who is a incredible harpist, and we talk about how it's important to make space for joy, especially as we discussed her newest album called Get About Season, and discussing just joy and making space to cultivate and to find that bliss. We also talked to the ladies of the She Well Read podcast, who just have so much energy, so much zest for life. And we talked about books and how books play a huge role in cultivating our joy, opening our minds, and just a really great conversation. And lastly, you'll also hear from the TV docs. So this is where we talked about nostalgia and how television and entertainment plays a huge role in our identity, as well as just bringing us some joy and community. So again, these are some of my favorite episodes where we touch on joy from this year. So grab a cup of coffee or a cup of tea or something a little bit stronger. Listen, I won't judge. And let's hop into today's episode. As always, thank you so much for joining. I'm so glad you're here. Be well, sis.
And so what you have to realize is that it is intentional that you have not been able to access softness, access your feelings, access your emotions, access your rest, access your ease. It is intentional for that. So at which point you choose, you decide, you say, I'm going to find me some rest. I'm going to find me some ease. I'm going to find me some pleasure by any means necessary, right? There is a responsibility that I want us to take for not allowing people to tell us that we don't deserve or have access to things that is just your God-given right. By very nature of being born, you deserve to have food, water, shelter, rest, right? And if you don't have those things or haven't had access to those things, it's not because you don't deserve it. It's not because you're not worthy of it. And it's not because it is some privilege that other people are more worthy of than you. It is because well, of course, there's systems in place to keep those things out of reality. And also, it is our responsibility to consistently wake up every single day and say, I am choosing to look for this. I'm choosing to pursue this. I'm not going to let these institutions or systems convince me that I'm not worthy of it or that I don't deserve it or that I will have to wait until my grandchildren's lifetime for it to be reality. No, in my lifetime, this is a very worthy body. And so I want to access it. I want to see it. I want to pursue it. In conclusion to this sermon, and that's how we arrived here in this place, because our ancestors absolutely on a regular basis was like, no, now, now is the time. We want it. We're going to pursue it. We're going to wake up. We're going to boycott. We're going to do all the things that we got to do because we are worthy of it. And certainly our children are worthy of it.
Oh, you said so many things there. So when the soft life era movement started online or whatever, I was like, yes. And then I saw it quickly spiraled into really materialisticness. Like, well, I'm living the soft life if I have the Chanel bag or if I have a bigger house or if I go on the luxury vacations, that's the soft life. And I'm like, no, we've lost the plot, y'all. That is, those things are nice. That's great. But that is not the definition of softness. What you just said, all things that you just broke down and illustrated is softness. And I think because our culture is so capitalism is just embedded, the programming is strong. We think that to go get things, the things is going to make our life soft.
what it took in a nutshell was me figuring out how to combine who I am as a person with the music that I'm playing and the type of music I'm playing. And that came as a result of, I would seek out recordings. I wanted to record with everyone. Like my first top 40 recording was Cassie's album, and it's like, okay, what am I listening to? I'm listening to hip hop on the radio. I'm listening to hip hop. I'm listening to R&B. So how can I incorporate my instrument into these styles of music that I'm listening to? So that's how I started, really. And then starting to connect it to who I am as a person. So I'm studying classical music. It's all good and fine, but at home, for my pleasure, I'm playing through, I don't know, Toni Braxton or whatever I'm hearing on the radio. I'm playing like This Woman's Work by Maxwell because that harp in the background, So at some point, I was like, okay, I think I got to bridge my worlds together. And when I bridged my worlds together is when things really started to come together for me professionally. It was like, okay, all I had to do was be true to myself, like they say.
Yeah.
Right? How many times did I watch The Wiz? Believe in yourself.
But that's a message right there, because I think a lot of us, and I'm going to say me, I tried to fit myself into the box that was created for me.
Of course.
And it didn't feel good. It didn't feel comfortable. And I thought I would get more success by doing that. And no, to your point is be who you are, and the opportunity will rise to meet you, and, it'll feel better too.
I think, Cassandra, it's easier for us to say that now.
Absolutely.
Because I'm sure you heard it a million times before, right?
Yep, for sure. What does it mean to be well-read in 2025? And I specify 2025 because there's a whole lot of mess happening.
Good point.
Like people don't want to read books. Go ahead. Yes.
You know
talk
what
to
I'm
me.
gonna say? I'm gonna say this. Okay. We paused one of our seasons in the midst of George Floyd. And we were like, drop the season. Fuck the season. Fuck the book. Fuck talking about stuff that doesn't matter. Like, let's talk about what's really going on in life. I think that's being well read, to be honest. I think that it's like showing up for what is needed in that moment. So if that's like educating yourself on some new thing coming out of the White House that's happening, then that's being well read, like reading some articles about it or listening to a podcast. Like, I feel like it doesn't have to be, I finished 80 books this year. To be well read. It can be just like staying informed. And I think that that's hopefully what we can kind of show on our show is like, yes, we're, reading, and we do care about learning and like seeing new perspectives through books and different things like that. But ultimately, like on a day-to-day basis, it can look so different. Like you may be really busy and all you can do is just like, maybe all you can do is just do your daily Bible study, and that's well read, like for you.
No, you are exactly on point. Because I like to tell people all the time, like Samra was saying, like being well read is not reading. You are well read if you read 80 books in a year. Cool, kudos, that's amazing. But being well read is like because there's this discourse that like reading romance is not actually like reading, or listening to an audiobook is not. Now that one I'm deeply passionate about.
People really are serious about that one. They're like, you have to literally be looking at words.
Yes.
It's
okay.
Like, maybe I want to do
right. And also
maybe
I was like, that's a smidge ableist also.
That part, yes.
Like,
yes.
Let's talk about that too.
Are you with your mama?
Yes, right.
And so I feel like Tiana Samra was saying, being well read looks different for everybody. And that is something we really try to highlight with our show, where it's like, Samra could tell me about some Substack article she read, and that is being well read. Or I could get my subscription from Essence in the mail and devour that, and that is being well read, because it's just about being informed.
Yes.
Like knowing what's going on in the world around you. And it's like, as much as like I like when I was younger, like hearing my parents saying that, like, you got to know what's going on. And especially like when I was in college and, it's election season, they're like, you need to be informed on what's happening in your local government and your local elections. And I was like, okay. But now I really see the value of it in like what being well read can do.
Yeah.
Because it's one thing to know and it's one thing to just like, you know, be in the mist, but actually doing something with it. I feel like that's where the real power comes in.
For sure. For sure. Y'all are amazing. I am just so happy that we
You
got a
are
chance to like
amazing.
chit
Right. I was
chat.
about to say, girl, like this is fun.
Yes, you're fantastic. Oh my gosh. Like I'm
The
having a great
questions,
time.
hello? I'm excited for the next. I'm like, all right, what's the next challenge?
I mean, if you guys got a few more seconds.
I mean, well, yes.
Okay, well, one I figure I already know for you, Alana. So it says fill in the blank. I'm currently reading blank and feeling blank.
Ooh, yes. I'm currently reading Plus Size Player by Danielle Allen. And I actually read Curvy Girl Summer, which is the first book in this trilogy that she's doing earlier this year. And when I tell you, I looked at it, because everybody was talking about it, right?
Mhm.
And I'm usually like, everybody's talking about it, could go one of two ways.
Right.
And so I looked it up and I saw like the little, because I was like, okay, let me look it up on Amazon so I can get the synopsis, whatever. And I saw like the most highlighted like text or whatever from people doing it on their Kindles or whatever. And when I tell you it was one of the spiciest scenes I've ever read in my season of reading romance and like getting into that, I immediately sent it to my friend and I said, if you ever want me to read a book, send me this. This is what's going to make me press play on it. Because Curvy Girl Summer, the literal first few sentences, it's like the intro is the sex scene.
Oh. Okay,
Right.
on my list.
It's not too slow.
It's like there is no lead up. It is like we are here.
Oh
and
my
I
goodness.
loved it. And that is what made me really get into this series. And so Plus Size Player is exactly the same. I mean, it doesn't come in with the sex scene like that one did, but it's just like the continuation of the story with a new main character and her journey in love and relationships. And so I feel very spicy reading this book. I'd be taking notes. I'd be like, he did what? He put you
Listen, that's how I felt when I was reading Revive Me. Is it Revive Me?
Oh, I've
By
heard
J.L.
really good.
Seegers?
Yes, I've heard good things. Oh,
I said her mind is beautiful. Like,
Wow.
or she's lived a really beautiful life. Like,
Oh,
wow.
Amen.
I'm so happy for you. Like, you've experienced all of this. Like,
wow, I love it.
Yes.
I love reading books and like having this thought process of like
I can't even, what? Like, this you have to experience to even write about. You can't make this up, is what I was like thinking when I was reading. I'm just like, okay.
You're like, there's
good
no
for
way you made this up.
Absolutely not. You live this, and I love that for you.
Is she the next podcast guest?
I would love that, because
I'm gonna
I'm
let
just
you know.
like, girl, can we talk? Like, the life you've lived, I love it for you.
You made me want to read it.
I know.
It's
I'm
good.
like pushing it up on my list because it's on my list because everybody's been talking. It's one of those that everybody's talking about.
It's good. I think it takes a little second to get going, but once it does, it's like
Off to the races.
yes, and it's long. It's very long, but worth it.
I remember
Yeah.
she was thick when I saw her. I said, ooh,
Yeah,
this audiobook
she's
gonna
very
be 24
long.
hours.
Yes, yes. But I was locked in. Let me tell you, I was just like picking up my kids. Like, on my way to the car pickup, I was like locked in. I had to like when he come to the car, I'm like, let me turn this real quick.
Imagine you're like in the grocery store or something, it starts playing. It's like,
Yes.
No, that's me in the gym. I have to remember that my beats are louder than I think they are, like to the outside world when I'm reading. Like even today when I was in the gym, I was like, oh shit, this is I think this might be a little loud. Let me turn this down.
The person next to you was just like, what's going on?
Well, she looked at me and I was like, oh shit. Let me That's when I was like, oh my bad, girl.
I'm trying to have what she's having.
One time I was playing it on my phone. I had like it was on speaker, and I'm doing my makeup in the bathroom, and I'm by myself. At least I thought I was. And my husband comes in. He's just like, "Is this what you listening to? Is this what you reading right now?" He's just like, "Go off." He's like, "Is this why you've been extra?" I'm just like,
That's my business.
right. I was just like, pause. I'm like, get out.
Yes, husband.
He's like, go off.
He's like, you need another one of those.
Right.
books?
He's like, I will order the next one, right?
I love it.
Goodness. Okay, what about you, Samra?
Now that's being
it's-
well read.
Right. That is action. So
Yes. When I think about myself as a kid, I didn't realize how much I was like I don't know if the word is rebelling, but because I was in an environment where I was othered and I had to, like, I learned about things just, by proxy, right? Like white culture. When I was home, I'm just like, no, I am going to find the blackest, the most ethnic, whatever it is that I could find. So when you mentioned Friends, I was like, I do not know Friends because Friends was so big. And I'm just like, hold on. Like, how is it that these group of people are in New York City and ain't not now one of y'all black until like way later? And I was just like, I'm not watching this. Same thing with Seinfeld. Seinfeld was a big thing. And I'm just like, no, I refuse. Like, y'all can have your jokes
Never
about
occurred to
it.
me.
For me, I think, I don't know. There was something about me as a kid that like I tuned so much out. And also I think my upbringing also shaped it in a way because my family were fundamental Christians. So Seventh-day Adventist is what I was raised. So that means you really want to try to tune media out and yada, yada, yada. I didn't even have cable. Like, so you mentioned Clarissa explained it all. I only knew Clarissa because a friend had Nickelodeon and I went to her house over the summer. I'm just like, this is amazing. You have all the things.
What have I been missing? You missed out on
my goodness. Like, Mom, can we
and Salute Your
cable?
Shorts? Okay.
Salute Your Shorts also. That same summer we were watching that all the time. But
So
like
great.
I didn't know all that was like rare for me. Rugrats also, I don't know how I learned about Rugrats. Maybe I think I was older when I should have aged out of Rugrats. I'm like, oh, this is it. Let me tune in.
It is it. Yeah, it is it.
A whole adult being like,
what are you watching? Yes. But I think also my, because of my upbringing where we did the thing that I remember from my childhood was we are in the world, but not of the world. So all of the secular things, like I really wasn't allowed to watch, though I would watch it anyway, because I was literally by myself. So I could do what I want when I'm alone.
Right.
But yeah, I just didn't learn a lot of things until later on. And even still, when we talk about pop culture from like our like years of coming of age, I don't know what y'all talking about because I was at church or
It's interesting because so much of my research about culture and about community is about getting the joke, is about the inside jokes. And if you don't get the joke, it's like knowing the secret handshake.
Yes.
And so if the three of us walked into a room and I said, and I said something and it like I wouldn't be able to know Michele from Cassandra, let's say if you were my people or not, based on if I could tell if one of you knew it or not. Because I knew, you watched that show. And so that's within culture, within television culture, especially. Especially in fandom, there's gatekeeping. And so people are very protective over like, you don't know this about Star Wars, or you don't know, this about Marvel, or you don't know this about when Michele first really introduced me to Star Trek. She would keep saying like, do you feel like a Trekkie? Do you feel like a Trekkie? I'm like, I won't even say the word because I don't.
She's like,
I don't want to
get
step out of
wrong.
line. I don't want to step out of line. And we're both in the same sorority, and I feel like it's very similar. We're like, I don't want somebody even coming close to like, doing this. And so when she was like throwing up the spot thing, and I'm like, I would never. Now I feel more now that I've been like deep in the research, but it does feel within these fandom communities that you get from not only, again, watching television, but from sharing the experiences from that shared love, and from that shared identity and that shared language that you pick up. And again, even when I said you two sociopaths and you two had that connection of like, we want to be in school forever, that is community. That is something you two share. You two are in that club that I'm not part of, and I don't want to be, that's fine. But that is then another layer of community that you two have. And it can be a beautiful thing, but then it can also be now you two are in that club.
Yeah.
You know, maybe I'm not in that club. There's just so many layers of how television creates groups,
Yep.
you know, outsiders and insiders. And it's just such a fascinating thing to study.
Yeah.
Especially since it was such a huge part of our lives growing up. And it's such a huge part of your life, even if you didn't have access, because you aren't even aware of all the ways in which you aren't in on the jokes because you just don't know the things that are being said that are like, oh, you got that? You know, or like, you know, no soup for you. If I said to like, Michele, did you watch Seinfeld?
I did.
Okay,
See, that
I mean,
one
if
I
I
know.
said,
I know
oh,
that
you know, no
episode.
soup for you.
Because that's not niche enough. That's not niche enough.
Yes, that one I know.
That one's mainstream. That's mainstream.
I know.
But if I said Darmok and Jalad at Tanagra.
What's going on?
So the proper response is Shaka when the walls fell.
Okay.
But that's okay. I mean, you know, it's so listen.
Not familiar.
When Ashley, so I had been trying to get Ashley on Star Trek for, I don't think it's an exaggeration to say a decade, maybe more than that. And so I think we might be coming up on about 2 decades of about 20 years of me trying to get her into Star Trek. And so the day that she texted me, I was like, okay, I watched it and I love it. I cried real tears. I really did, because it was so meaningful to me because, you know, this is someone who I care for very much. And now we can have that language. It's another layer to the relationship that I'm like,
yeah,
finally, because one of the things that we haven't really talked about is that, especially, you know, certain fandoms, like Ashley said, they are gatekeepy, but not just about their content, but about who the people are that can be considered part of the community, part of the group, right? And so Star Trek is one of those. It makes no sense, right? Because the whole point of Star Trek is like infinite diversity and infinite combination. But it's, you know, there is a majority audience that feels like, yeah, we know that diversity, okay, but this is ours. Yeah. And so the Trekkies of color, but especially Black Trekkies, have felt ostracized from something that was supposed to be kind of for them for the beginning. So when other people, especially other Black folks, get interested in Star Trek, I'm like, welcome, you know, come, please have a seat, like settle in. Are you hungry? Do you want any snacks? Like, can I bring you a blanket? Like, what do you need? So there's that kind of aspect of community building from the inside on the fringes that's happening as well.
Thank you for listening to this episode of Be Well Sis. If you'd like to get in touch with us, there's a link in the show notes. Be Well Sis is hosted by me, Dr. Cassandre Dunbar, and produced by Edit Audio. Don't forget to hit follow so you never miss an episode. Until next time, be well, sis.